Hello there. I'm Kate Kunkel, a brain health mentor and the creator of Brain Health Matters, a series of educational events, programs, and courses, all designed to help you improve your health so you can nurture a better brain. This week here on Brain Health Matters, I'd like to share a few tips about dealing with stress. I'm not sure when I personally have felt quite so anxious and stressed. Even though I'm here in my beautiful little retreat center in Ecuador, far from the madding crowd, sometimes I find my stomach churning and my hands a little bit shaky. And I just know it's stress from what's going on in the world. And I'm hearing more often from my clients and folks in my programs that they also just can't shake the feeling of impending doom. It's like we're all waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak. Stress, unresolved stress, is one of the biggest predictors and biggest risk factors for memory problems, mental health issues, and of course, dementia. So I wanted to start our session today by going into a little meditation for a couple of reasons. First, to calm us, put us in a nice state, but also when we stop and we get into our minds a little bit, into our hearts, we learn better, we remember better. If we start with a short meditation or a few moments of silence, then we learn something, and then we do a few more moments of silence or meditation at the end, we learn much better. We retain much more information. So I wanted to do that with us here today. So we're going to start with what some people call circular breathing. Other people call it box breathing. Today we're going to do it to a count of 4. So we'll breathe in to a count of 4, hold it for 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold it for 4 again. So just sit nice and comfy with your shoulders straight, your spine straight, so that we get all that energy flowing. And just close your eyes and relax. And take a nice deep breath into the count of 4. Hold it for 4. Exhale. And hold it for 4. Do that again. Hold it. Exhale. Hold it. One more time. Hold it for 4. Exhale. And hold it for 4. Doesn't that feel nice? This calms everything right down. So let's talk about supplements. Yesterday here in the Facebook group, I shared some supplements that are helpful for stress reduction. So I wanted to go over some of them and a couple of others. The first one is GABA. So GABA is not just a supplement, obviously. It's a chemical that's produced in our bodies, and it is an amino acid. It's produced naturally in the brain, and it functions as a neurotransmitter. That means it helps our brain cells communicate. So how does GABA work? Well, I say GABA is kind of like the brakes of the brain. It's the body's inhibitory neurotransmitter, which means it lowers the activity of neural cells in the brain and our central nervous system. So it moves the brain and the body into lower gear. So by inhibiting neural activity, it helps lower anxiety and creates a calmness. It also plays an important role in regulating muscle tone. So compare this, on the other hand, to glutamate, which is the body's most important excitatory neurotransmitter. And it's really important to keep those in balance, to keep our mental and physical balance. GABA is also necessary for our immune systems to be healthy, and we need it for regulation of our appetite and metabolism. So when we don't have enough GABA, it can result in anxiety, chronic stress, depression, some memory issues, and difficulty concentrating. Some people even suffer from insomnia when they have low GABA levels. So since GABA's primary role is to diminish activity of neurons in the brain and the central nervous system, it's important for sleep as well. So we're not sure how supplemental GABA actually gets from the bloodstream into the brain, but I can tell you from my own personal experience that it does. And my dad, who was very anxious post-stroke, and he's got early stages of dementia from the stroke, it can work very well and very effectively to calm you down. And that might have something to do with its effect on the gut. They're still studying that, but the fact that it can calm you down makes your gut healthier. That microbiome works much better when we're calm. Either way, it's very helpful. And because it reduces stress, as I said, it helps with sleep issues and boosts the immune system. Some people even use it to help lower blood pressure. So how do we get more GABA? How do we produce more GABA? Because ultimately, when we're dealing with neurotransmitters, it's better to produce more of our own, right? We want to have a healthy production of these important neurotransmitters. So some varieties of green and black and even oolong tea can help with that. Also, we can find it in fermented foods like kefir, yogurt, and tempeh. So by eating those, you can help boost the production of GABA. Also, whole grains, fava beans, soy, lentils, and some other beans, nuts like walnuts and almonds help, as do sunflower seeds. A lot of people cannot eat tomatoes and other nightshades, but that is a source of help producing GABA. Spinach, broccoli, potatoes, and my favorite, cacao. So another great way to increase the production of GABA is meditation. And that's another reason I wanted to start this session with it. Meditating actually helps us produce more of the neurotransmitter GABA so we can be calmer. And that's probably why it goes so far to helping our brains become bigger and healthier. So GABA, if you're not getting enough production in your own body, you can also get it as a supplement. And some people take it every day, especially if they're having trouble sleeping or if they're using it for high blood pressure management. But you can just take it on an as-needed basis. And I'm living proof of that, as is my dad, if you're feeling a little stressed or anxious. So if you want to learn more about it, just message me, and I've got some information on supplementation that I'd be happy to share. So the next one we talked about in the Facebook post yesterday was saffron. Now, most of us think of saffron as a beautiful spice that we use in Eastern dishes, but saffron is used traditionally as an antidepressant, and it helps reduce inflammation. It also helps relax the muscles of our gut, of our digestive tract, and it reduces spasms, so it helps us digest our food better. There have been tons of studies on saffron as an antidepressant, but even better, there was a guy who did a review of studies, and he saw from that review that saffron is actually effective in helping to reduce Alzheimer's symptoms. So it was effective as Aricept, which is one of the most common drugs used for reducing Alzheimer's symptoms. And it was actually better long-term because it does not mess with the protective mechanism of the plaques and tangles that are the signature of Alzheimer's. So anyway, it has been studied a lot in many cases. It also shows some help with weight loss, which of course is important for brain health and memory and stress reduction. And it also helps and the reason it works is because it apparently helps reduce the need for snacking. And that makes sense if it's helping digestion, right? And it helps produce, it also helps with PMS. So why? Because it has high amounts of the antioxidative carotenoids and B vitamins. So it seems that saffron actually changes the levels of neurotransmitters like dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin in the brain. And the antioxidants help to clean up free radicals in the body and to help brain cells from oxidative stress, because that's like rust, right? Oxidative stress on metal, we have a lot of it here, or in your brain. That's a problem with mood and stress, the ability to handle stress. So it helps the digestive tract because it can relax tight muscles. A healthy digestive tract also means a healthier brain, which means you're better able to handle stress and you're not so likely to become depressed. So it's actually an amazing substance. So how do you get it? It's always best, as I said before, to get these things in your diet. Adding saffron to your meals is a great way to do it. It's delicious. And yeah, saffron is expensive, but in the long run, it's a more efficient way to get those activities going on in your body. And I have a whole website with recipes on it. So if you would like that, just message me and I'll give you the link to the recipes for saffron meals. And you can also get supplements for saffron. Dr. Amen has one. It's called Happy Saffron. And I can put the link, I'll put the link in the comments below where you can look at a few of these different supplements. And then the last one I mentioned yesterday is holy basil. And most of us think of basil as that delicious herb we use in Italian cooking, but the holy basil is actually another kind of plant. It's a shrub. It's native to India. It has purple flowers, and the stem and the flowers and the leaves are all used. And it's so powerful, actually, that in the ancient world, it was given the name Tulsi, which means the incomparable one, because it has so many powers. So holy basil has been shown to reduce the levels of the stress hormone cortisol. So important. And it also seems to help reduce stress by supporting the healthy function of our neurotransmitters. And like saffron, it also has antioxidants. So that helps with mood. Holy basil is believed to be an adaptogen, which means it helps the body adapt to stress. And that includes psychological and mental stress, but also from cold or from noise and fatigue. So it helps battle stress-related issues like anxiety and depression and poor immune system function. So holy basil is really quite a powerful herb. So if you drink a lot of coffee, you're really active and work out a lot, or if you're stressed or anxious, you might want to consider adding more to your diet or supplementing. If you have trouble shutting off your brain at night, which is very common right now, or you have elevated cortisol levels, you might want to go as far as taking a supplement, although of course adding it to your food is amazing. My favorite is in Thai stir-fried dishes. But if you do decide to supplement, holy basil is included in a few formulations from Dr. Amen, including his everyday stress formula. So again, that link to his products are down below. Yeah, so the thing I didn't address in the post yesterday was ashwagandha. So this is a very powerful herb, and it's been used for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine. It can lower your cortisol levels by, get this, 28%. That's almost a third. So that's amazing. And it helps promote restorative sleep. So it's so amazing. It's like a staple in Ayurvedic medicine and alternative health. So it's recommended to take 1 or 2 teaspoons of ashwagandha root powder a day, but don't take it if you're pregnant. This is a big don't take it if you're pregnant. There are also many other supplements that can help with stress, including the B vitamins and magnesium. And you can read a lot more about those in my book, Don't Let the Memories Fade. I have a whole chapter on supplements. And also, I talk a lot about these herbs in terms of food. Okay, so at the end, as I said before, when we learn something, when we're trying to retain something, it's best to have a time at the beginning to be quiet and at peace, to do our learning, and then have time at the end to absorb it. So now we're going to have that absorption time here in our live. So let's take a moment. We're going to let it all sink in. But this time we're going to use diaphragm breaths to get to that place of peace and learning and retention. So start by putting your one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Now take a deep breath and make sure that it's your belly that is coming out. If your hand is coming up like this on your chest, that's not diaphragm breathing. That's chest breathing. And that means you're not getting all the air as far down into your diaphragm. So you're not getting all the benefits of the breath, right? So take a deep breath and get it down in your diaphragm. There you go. Now we're going to do 3 of these. 1, 2. Make sure that hand's coming out on your belly. And 3. Now you can just breathe naturally. If you want to close your eyes, take this time to absorb all that you've just learned. Allow your mind to review what's come to you. And take the time to let that go into your memory banks. It's going into that little horseshoe-shaped figure called the hippocampus. Now, there may be something in particular that came up today that speaks to you. And if you think it's important to take a moment now and write it down so you can revisit it later. Now, take a moment and scan your body. See how it's feeling. Are you feeling more relaxed? Now take a couple more deep breaths. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you were able to ingest and keep that information. Of course, the replay will be available all the time. It's here on the site, and I'll also have it on YouTube. And I'll be back here next week. And remember, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments for this live or anytime here on the group. Thanks so much. Have a great day.